Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Ono nsa so na o ma pen nhihye ne chede afibiara odo de ni sika sam nhihye oya kase na the policy statement. Budget is not only Kwame sika sama sika manya ne sika spend on ya no gote a certain direction for certain major sectors. It is in the budget because the agencies will begin to put what they want to do in the ensuing year. They begin to put it together, and that is what crystallized into the ministry's forward march or the objective of the ministry. Then all the ministries put all of that together, and that is what we put monetary value upon it. How do we implement? The means so budget, if anybody thought that budget is just putting revenue points together and how we intend to spend that, then they are mistaken. It is more. And the policy statement only man paying regional do and she share when do I feel with him. And the queen said over there, all the quarter Begum. Son, one was her name. Oh no, I think 2 weeks. I remember Uncle Wednesday. It was Wednesday.
2 weeks. Exactly.
That's right. Now, Kwame, on the quarter to go. I got to go in. The Abayan Toye war parliament now for me there. Kwame said, when Yama was this custom to train Shishan Kokotugua. No, we now work him. Sana, it's a bulky document. And them are women dozen. And the members of parliament must have a clear understanding. Nessa war come once a man, we're too much year, one nice bibido. No was I doing Chevy so about we're too much I gonna. No mudo, no babwa, we're too much. Get over so. It's one more now, Kishamoho. I think it was a 3-4 day program. And those were the points. My understanding will be there. Sir, yaks the Minda Mayasa. No. A crowd baby engine took and a crowd baby so what done and chair car. Why we all sit around the table. Hey, a man paying a double thing. Now soon, chair. Yes, see there. In Chehe, one puts some hookaka. He one faying kaka. He one ma uncle from kaka. He umbra so kaka. Then we are working in the collective interest of the country. But even before the whole engagement, minority was already on the rooftop shouting that, look, we are not going to stand with the majority in approving this budget. Even before they went to war. The president has a clear mandate. Are we saying that we have sold our goat and yet holding on to its tail? Ya ton ha ponchen so sra ya ni doma ya koto abada mo man pain ya manutum de physical sam chehye o man kan kodi bibia wo nsam. He has the clear mandate, even though it is not absolute. And see, say a member of parliament, you must first and foremost have it at the back of your mind. Then look, there is someone who has been entrusted with a clear mandate to manage the affairs of this country for the next 4 years. I must criticize, but I must not be an impediment. Because after all, if I did that, what would be the essence? Now saying that the Maria will get it to prove that because somehow there is a division in the House, in Parliament, that we are not going to use the division for a certain serious critique. We are going to use the division just to be a stumbling block. Then I'm afraid the rationale for that division, which the Ghanaian people gave us on 7 December, is completely undermined and defeated. Sir, 137 now was the man. Sir, minority won't win there. Yako, near the Kaya, Infinitimbia, war abandoned to share Nima. Now, Kwame, Abana Yako to him, Ghana for the Yadam decision, not today. You have to know the game, you have to form. Or send a budget now, or man paying that cotton. It is to do the things that will help the Ghanaian people. to make a sea progress. And see, I am for all the criticisms. I am for all the things that they do not agree on. I am for all the things that is in their own opinion. But there is a person who has that mandate. And so once you have made your point clear, you must not continue to be a stumbling block. Because after all, you should leave it in the hands of the Ghanaian people that, what he brought has rather worsened our situation, and we have the power to make that decision when we get to the junction. It's my minority warrior there. One kasa, what can a press conference? What the 1-5 a major request about the request that one you must find money to go and do ketu. When you are saying that you are not ready for us to pay more taxes or to pay taxes to support and to help, yet you are asking that the government must find money to go and do ketu. How will government find money if we do not?
Keta.
Ketu nkawa.
Or that environment, but the keta.
Keta is the main.
Yeah.
Okay. Keta. Ato me say. Keta na. Hina yesusu de. Oman pen oba ya ma 2019 owie e ma sera bi wona yima odo oyen. What go with that rogwe. So what to mo aye a oyeska do de. And that must happen and happen soon. I do not want to see another story in the next 1 year or in the next 6 months where this ravaging effect of the sea has happened again in Keta. Amen. But on your man now, Mother can or yeah, and more do you too. It is about to buy the man or yes, or the year. That was one request. Then you were talking about ACA. What's it? So July thereabout. Parliament year resolution be. Nemum okra parliament okra budget room nanse samba. And you insisted there the what is captured in the budget must be the one that is made in July. On my paying or self no office kasamodon wa hwe ma do so wa sesa. Asa go there or your GMPC. I'm sure that is the same.
That's
okay. Then the next point is e-levy. Kwame.
It looks as if CC the whole budget is about e-levy.
Yes.
But Kwame.
Yeah.
When I think that my bit on this matter, you remember when it was read the following week that I came here. Mekade, anytime budget had been read, and what is Kasama say? What kind of it is the same source of revenue, i.e. those who have been officially captured, especially those of us who are on the former sector, our payroll. No child is a young share. I just got. Nemum, and what informal sector, and what gum, and what crown, and what called by day, and what a juma. Somebody goes to work, Kwame, from morning till evening, and by the time he closes from work, Kwame don't get about 300, 400. Said the 400 if it's lucky, and it is an all-man's job. That's at the 400 by 30 Dibuma. Or Jessica Cratch no bia, or classroom, and no bia, or hospital, okay, Juma. It is Obi or hospital, okay, Juma, but on what's on now. Oh, I'll quite carry the Majuma in that Edwasa, and many of the miscan. Are you saying that you are special and therefore you cannot or you must not contribute to building our nation? No, and now I watch it, Casamido. Kwame, they have been this innovative. The government itself, in coming to office, Kwame Juma Waye. The Uncle Ben there, Momo, na Yadi Adama, Namaka there, my transfer. But Kwame, this government has come to add on and expanded the frontier of Momo, especially this whole electronic transaction. And it's yet to be done, and as I told you, I want to repeat. The last time over 2 months ago, Vice President special aid, but within a quarter amount what transfer through electronic transaction was over 80 billion. 80 billion Ghana cedis. And you yourself, you posed the question. It was natural that so this goes untaxed. Kwame, what should he now? Kwamena Duncan. May transfers.
You be my mind.
Kwame Sefa kind transfers.
Maybe I'm more.
Maybe.
Kwabra Bonfe, Kabila, transfers.
Mrampo as managing editor of the
exactly. Exactly. It's
Kwamena.
Exactement. Oh, shall baby say. Exactement. Kwame, and see, say ya the kakari to do. Na ekwana the by complain. You complain that the road must be done. Everybody in their community, they are all asking that their roads be done.
Obi se men can't show the account program.
Yeah, now man, we have a ship. I say, I go school. I chair.
81 we are tit, you know. Whilst we are tit, just a quick correction. Jobo, you are right about Ketu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, Keta Sea Defense Project. President Rollins no fiase.
Okay.
President Kofo no be ye won hihye ni nyina no wi. Inti Keta Sea Defense Project akasa we.
It's a project.
Okay.
We
Amandi fu na wo ye.
Keta
It was done by Amandi.
But but more ye see no za asama aban. Or ye, as you rightly mentioned, or a Ketu area stretching all the way to Aflao. Or hon wo friend Blekusu project here Blekusu.
That's right.
You saboteur. Oh, cut
Marco. Oh,
information.
80. Why phase 1? Why phase 1? Phase 2 no babe. Into ono not the problem now ba. But mama tin there baby am things wonza kwhwi wo. There were be 8 kilometers be.
Okay.
Was a triado for the Blekusu phase 2. On a budget, so finance minister card there's a 10 million for feasibility and engineering, not only for that area but for our coastline.
Okay.
Was Risha. And you are right about Ketu. Yes, I just wanted to emphasize.
Now,
oh yeah, the doma.
Now, Kwame.
Oh, check.
Now, Kwame.
So I can't
what do you me? Say you won't go to our way.
Ebe wa so
so the auto sabi
no
akupupo wo koto awonda no ninya oye bebu
Kwame na to adi na we
e me che iti Kwame say concert acho body na
ile concert ya no my escape
enti ndema numa wodi tugwan Kwame abanye tuwa na mo ate na supam aye nhihye ni na mo waka yi de oye yi levy it is as if the position the minority is assuming, it's as if they have the mandate to govern this country. That is not true. It can never be that a government that has a mandate na oye the musu swireba no minority bakere engine too. That is wrong. That indeed undermines the pillars of democracy. You must make your point known. You must do your criticism more than can be account. Now, Mumbai it at the back of your mind. There, Obi wa to Abaman, and he has to account. Now, some tema or so for the better under the Mokaya. Kwame, on your ya to Abu, even on this matter. Man, there wasn't one to share the Boko at the committee level. And Nana Kumiasu was sitting on that. Over committee level, Kwame, what they are no. Share the best share and share about and eventually an acceptable figure. Able to be that near that because otherwise, if you listen to what Haruna Idrisu is doing today, can we go back to 2008 when Venerable President Kufuor Nanaban Kwame what the communication tax said Haruna Idrisu more can I'm rounding up. Me see.
Communication service tax.
Yes. This is captured in the hands. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the motion on the floor, and in doing so, reiterate to the opposition of the minority the tax regime, and in particular to refer to Mr. Speaker to page 4 of the committee's report, last paragraph, and with our indulgence, I quote, the minority members of the committee actively participated in the consideration of the bill. They have expressed their opposition in principle to the imposition of communication service tax because of its impact on tele-density and mobile penetration. Mr. Speaker, we are not convinced that the future implications of this tax regime would hold good for the telecom sector of our country. Indeed, best practices reference is made to Turkey and Uganda, where in Uganda there is a recent study carried out by Makerere University, which strongly even recommended reducing the tax regime in order to allow them to have an increased mobile penetration, which is currently around 16%, far below that of Ghana. Kwame, if you go down, the very things they are saying today, the very, very things they are saying today, the same, that it will collapse the communication sector, it will collapse the penetration levels, the tele-density level will indeed be diminished, that people will no longer have the desire to want to access communication and to communicate.
So it's
the
nothing
very
new.
things they said, Kwame, and says I will repeat it, and rather surprisingly, Ghana for Kotu Abama Waban, it was a different ball game. It was a different story. A different story under NDC. It's quite the man really there. Yes, Ghanaian people voted you into parliament. It was for you to criticize. It was for you to hold the government to account. Now Ghana for you man call parliament there. Monkaya Finsindia. The chinchi. Are we saying that you have the mandate over the people? That in 2020 when we went to the polls, you were the ones who the Ghanaian people said, look, come and manage affairs for and on our behalf. It is a good for by our government. It is Mawaki Dara, Mangwanye Dara. It is now time for them to sit round the table. Now, Kwame, 1 year discussion, for the budget to have its approval because the minister has indicated. That's a Kwame, because if Parliament doesn't approve to give the authorization, what it means is that the whole government shuts down. What it means is that the medical doctor will not have his salary at the end of the month, just like any public sector worker.
Maybe sir Damasemi last week, I'll ask again because Sasa Watakra did Zaba. Also, Chairman General, the harm has been done. We, the MPP, caused ourselves to have a hung parliament, else we'll not be where we are. Now the NDC has taken advantage of the situation and are making demands as if they are a ruling government. Their propaganda is gaining grounds. We need to have our heads up and make some concessions and look into 2024 with everyone on board, especially the grassroots. Sasa. Now
so I agree with Sasa. But now and here, or here and now, the issue is that the budget must have the approval so that this country can move on.
Kwamena Duncan made us say the ebullient, the exciting, the irrepressible, and the vivacious Kwamena Duncan this morning.
This FM 104.3. Good to meet you.